Hey, I'm Luke Andrews with Schulte Industries, and we're here at the 2020 National Farm Machinery Show. I have next to me our 15-foot FX-1800. I was going to walk you around some of our updates and some of our selling features and what makes us stand out from the rest. What I'd like to do is start off from the front here. We have several different options for hitches. This hitch is a little stiff, it's new, but this is called our Pro Level Hitch. This Pro Level Hitch is going to always be sitting at this when you park or go to unhook and hook from the tractor. This is a category 2 pinhole with replaceable bushings on the top and the bottom. So instead of when this wears out, you can replace just the bushing and not your whole hitch. You have one on the top and bottom as well. Our deck is dome over deck, so all your debris will vibrate and travel off the top of the deck instead of building up and compiling on top. We walk you over here to the bottom side. This particular unit has single chains on it. You can get the option of double chains and belting. Belting is kind of recommended for grass applications because it gives you a little bit better updraft for the super suction blades that we have. We have the option of a 4-inch blade or a 5-inch blade. If you look at our blades, they start curving towards the blade bolt here. So you don't have just a tip curve or just a twist at the end. The whole blade is. That's what gives you such great updraft. The blade bolt through the bushing and the pan is a pentagon bushing. So this is to ensure that the hole doesn't wear into an oval and it doesn't ever freeze up and you don't need a torch to change your blades out. If for some reason damage is to occur to this bushing, you can weld on the back side. This is welded in. You can grind the weld off the back side, pull the bushing out, and replace it for very little cost without having to replace the whole pan. Our pans, they're spun in a lathe. They're not pressed or stamped. If you look at the ripples here, this is each pass that lathe made to where it formed this pan. So you have a better balanced pan and it's more durable. The ones with the ripples in the pans is when damage occurs, that's usually where it is, where you have a bad crease. We have extra gussets throughout our cutter on the front and rear that tie into the front. On this cutter has a deep wall channel iron. So if something was to come in contact with the front of this cutter, you won't have the damage done that it would in the competitors. Down to the bottom of the wing, we have thick wall tubing on the wing and the center section. This is just to keep it from flexing and getting brittle over time and your deck from cracking. This is the bottom side of the hydraulic cylinder on the top of this wing fold. Now it's not just welded to the top of the deck, it actually goes through the deck, plated and welded on the bottom. So this is one of the prime examples of just how this cutter is built to last. Anywhere there's a hollow spot on this deck, it is 100% welded. This is to keep from debris from building and camping out on the inside and rotting it out and rusting it out. You may think you have a good cutter, and then when you go to cut, you see your gearbox is broken loose. It's because a lot of them rot from the inside out. While I'm up here, you'll see the deep cutting chamber. So your blade cut is just above this skid plate. So you have all this room to process your material. So that what that does, it gives you faster travel speeds. It makes your tractor work less, which saves you fuel in the long run. We're going to move back to this rear gusset. As you see, it ties in to the point to where the wheel standards mount to the back. Now, if you pay attention to all our wheel standards, a lot of our competition, they have just one plate on one side holding it, sometimes on both. But what we have is a thick piece and a thin piece. And you can see just the extra gussets that are put in there. With replaceable wheel standards on the bottom here. So if some kind of damage was occur around the spindle area here, you can actually unbolt this bottom section and remove it without having to find a welding shop or replace the whole complete assembly. As far as our tires go, this unit has foam-filled forklift tires. I love these tires and I love pushing these tires because you have a very thick piece of rubber to wear out. You also have a cleat, so when you do get on the side of a hill, it gives you some sort of extra traction. Moving to the back of the cutter here, This was the hydraulic mount that I pointed out that went through the deck. We have 225 gearbox horsepower for the down shafts. We have a 260 for the splitter box. The down shaft is 2 3/8 on this unit. You can get it with duals or walking tandems. So if you decided to change to walking tandems later on, you can unbolt the spindles here and bolt on the walking tandem connections. We have upgraded our turnbuckles, and we do have grease Allen lights on there. Our hinges, we do not grease our hinges. So what grease does in this application and conditions, grease captures grinding or grit that turns it to grinding compound. As you see, all the connecting points, we have what we call wiper blades. And this keeps material from sitting here, camping out and rotting this hinge point. So every time you fold your deck, these wipers wipe the debris through. You can also see our connecting points where the cylinders mount is where our hinge main points are. So that's just to give you even more extra support. We have a 6-year gearbox warranty on this cutter. It's one of the best in the industry. So for more information, look us up on www.schulte.ca or reach out to one of our local reps or dealers. Thanks.